Hey guys, how you doing? Damien Keys here. So let me take you on a journey back in time. I started bass playing when I was 15 years old, and for my birthday I got a silver Ninja bass, and you won't know what that is because I think I had the only one in the entire world. And I was obsessed with it, and I played and played, and then one day, once I'd saved up some money, I bought my second bass. I sold the silver Ninja and I bought myself a BC Rich. That's right, it wasn't a spiky one, but it was a BC Rich bass. And then a year or so later, when I was properly full on in bands and into bass playing and loved it, I bought what was at the time the love of my life. I bought an Ibanez bass. I absolutely loved it. And I had it for a few years and then went to music college, and it was very, very clear that you don't make records on that sort of bass. So it came to a point where I bought myself a Fender Precision, and I had a Music Man bass. It's a very technical bass, but stick with me. And it got to the point where I wasn't using it, so I sold it. I sold it to a friend of mine who was a student on the course and moved on. And I always loved that bass. As much like I would never use it on a gig, but I just genuinely loved it. I loved how it played. And it was one of those, I always got away. It was like, oh, I shouldn't have sold that bass. And then a year ago, I just was on eBay and I saw one which was exactly the same. So I bought it. And that is this bass. This is exactly the same as the bass that I had, or almost identical to the bass I had when I was 16 years old, which I fell in love with, and I learned to play. I remember going on holidays. I went on camping holidays when I was a kid and took this with me, and I was so scared it would get cold that I took it to bed with me. How weird is that? That's how obsessed I was with bass playing. But I love this bass, and so I bought it just nostalgic, just a bit of a replica of my old bass that I had. And then what happened was, I'll put that there, I put a picture of it on Instagram, and I just said, my old trusty bass, not the original, but a replica of. And I got a message from the girl I'd sold my original bass to, who said, I've still got your original bass. Do you want to buy it back off me? So I was like, yeah, I do. So I did. And this is it. This is my original bass that I had when I was 16 years old, and I just love to play it. It's an Ibanez Soundgear SR1000, slim neck. I mean, such a slim neck that all these basses, 30s they've got on them, so it's very thin gauge string. I don't know if you can see it, but it's even got on the back of it, it's got the original price tag from when I bought it in 1992 for £599, still on the back, all those years ago. So I got my original bass back, and I had two. And these basses are really weird because I would never use them on a gig in a million years. I would never use them to make a record. And while someone will always come through and goes, I know someone who played them on a record, I would say, yeah, but they sound fucking shit. So I love them. I absolutely love them. And these are like 25-year-old guitars, and I love them. But then the other night, I made a boob. I made one of those kind of drunken eBay boobs, even though I don't drink. And I bought myself another one. So now I have three of these basses, which is pretty ridiculous. It's pretty stupid, but there is method to my story. So I've got three of these basses, and I bought these. I bought this one because I just wanted a replica of my old bass. Didn't think I'd ever get it back again. Obviously bought this because it's the original. It's nostalgia. These are sentimental basses to me. But I bought this one for half the price that I bought both of these basses to. And I think that is quite important. I know the market of most guitars and basses because I live it, because I love guitars and I love basses. And I think when it comes to investments, I think musicians spend so much time and effort and energy on their passion, which is guitars, basses, drums, gear. And I just feel like we should be investing into not just the passion of what we do with the time and energy, but actually investing money into basses. Now, I know people haven't got much money and they can't just go and invest loads of basses, but I bought this for 300 quid. This bass is 25 years old, and in 5-10 years time, it will be worth triple that. I mean, it's probably worth double it now, but for a bargain, I just feel like musicians know this stuff. So you can pick up a bargain and you can just keep hold of it, and an investment for longer term, or if you're ever down on your luck and you need some money and you can sell it on for a bit more than you bought it for, I think there is a lot of room for musicians to be able to make some money long term by buying musical instruments that they understand the value of for lower than the market, and then keeping hold of them for a few years. So whilst these are completely sentimental value to me, this one is, these two aren't, but I'm not going to sell them because this one's pink and I like it. This one actually plays better than this one, not that I play them very much, but I just feel these are really good investments. And the reason why they're good investments is only because I know the market. So it's something to think about, but for you guys, I do think if you spend all of that time and energy learning about your trade until you get to the point where you're an expert, you're not just an expert in playing, but you're probably an expert in instruments, and you'll know the prices of these things, you'll know where they're going, you'll know where they've come from. So save up a bit of money and start to put a little bit of a weight into investments, because it's not like you're going to be buying properties and spending money on stocks and shares if you're a musician, not many of you anyway, but this is a way you can actually beat the system. So anyway, I've got 3 ridiculous basses that I'm never going to play, but I do love the look of them, so I'm going to go and play them for a bit. So see you guys tomorrow. Oh, I have to say, they are still great to play. Peace.